Hello, welcome to the home of the Ghost Owl. Continuing our Dwarven faction focus, we're now in the last section of the runes. This is the engineering runes, which are used on the war machines. The interesting thing with these, though, is only 3 of the 5 war machines actually are allowed to take engineering runes. So the organ gun and flame cannon cannot, but the normal cannon, bolt thrower, and grudge thrower can. So let's take a look and see what they have to offer. First up is the Master Rune of Immolation. This is cannon only, single use. If the cannon loses its last wound, the enemy unit in base contact suffers D6, Strength 5, AP -2 hits, and it's the most expensive engineering rune. As with other runes and abilities like this, I don't like paying for things for when you die, because the aim is you don't die, or you try not to die. So yeah, for paying plenty of points for this, I think there are better options in the engineering runes. It just doesn't for me have the value, even though it is D6 Strength 5 AP -2 hits, which is pretty decent. But I'm not sold on the value. Master Rune of Disguise. War Machine is always considered to be behind full cover. If you're taking engineers, you're putting them behind partial cover. Could have some value. Again, I think there are better things on here for a bit cheaper. And again, me, I'm a cheapskate. I like to keep my units cheap and have more of them. Rune of Skewering, however, bolt throwers only. They get +1 strength and no armor saves allowed. They can take your ward and regeneration as normal. This, for me, is an absolute key rune for bolt throwers. Even after adding this rune, bolt throwers are still the cheapest war machine in the army list. And this starts to mitigate some of their issues in terms of they're going now from strength 6 to strength 7. So targeting monsters, behemoths, and so on actually has more value. The fact there's no armor saves allowed, it already has AP -3, so it actually has pretty decent AP, but there's no armor saves allowed. That can be really good if you're shooting cavalry, for example. That heavy cavalry barding and all full plate armor and all that kind of good stuff. So bolt throwers, I think Rune of Skewering is actually a really important one to have if you're taking a bolt thrower. So really try and fit it in if you can. Rune of Forging, single use, may use the rune to re-roll a single misfire on the artillery dice. It's asterisk, which means you can take more than one. Again, I really like this. On a black powder war machine, or like the cannon, or even the grudge thrower using artillery dice, that ability to re-roll a misfire, that's just key, right? Allowing you to actually get the shot off rather than have to roll the misfire table and bad things happen. So overall, Rune of Forging, again, valuable I think that is way more valuable, than a Master Rune of Immolation where the cannon blows up if it dies. Whereas this can actually allow the cannon to keep doing its thing, shooting as it should and doing damage. So, yeah, and it's significantly cheaper. So Rune of Forging, yeah, good value. Rune of Burning, giving the war machine flaming attacks, situational as to how much value you get from that. Rune of Reloading, it's the cheapest engineering rune. It's my favourite of the cheapest of the engineering runes. So War Machine can still shoot every turn, even if it misfired and malfunctioned during a previous turn. So basically, you're getting to keep shooting every turn. You've paid, upwards of 100+ points for some of these War Machines, or close to it. So the ability to keep it shooting, that's the important thing every turn. So Rune of Reloading, cheap as you like, and has value to not miss a turn of shooting. The Stalwart Rune, War Machine gains +1 combat result point. This is super situational. I don't know how often you're getting your War Machines into combat, but generally you're trying to avoid that at all costs. So yeah, I take the Rune of Reloading over that, and if it's the bolt thrower, then I'm taking the Rune of Skewering. So don't see much value for the Stalwart Rune on the engineering runes in this case. And there you go. Again, another quick run through. That concludes the engineering runes. We're now going to move on to something a little bit different, which is going to do detailed character comparisons, looking at points, costs, stat lines, just to sort of see how they stack up when you actually do that direct comparison. Hope this video was useful though on the engineering runes. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If it wasn't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why in the comments down below. And if you want to see more content, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free for you to do. It's a big deal for me. Thank you in advance, and thank you to all those who have already subscribed. You've been watching The Ghost Owl. We've finished the runes, but we haven't finished the Dwarven faction focus. Tune back in as we start doing some deep dive comparison work.